You're now listening to the Beardy Bros podcast.
Made a big tea for this one. We're going for a 3 hour, bro.
Oh, bro, 3 hours, fuck.
I've got a full page of notes.
Oh, he's got the
I'm only
notes.
kidding. I'm only kidding. It's only like that much.
Yeah, no, it's not much, is it? It's a pretty chill week this week. All right.
For everything. Movies, music.
It's nice. I
nothing
think it's
like-
good. We can have a nice, we can just chit-chat about whatever this week.
We always
more.
chat.
I know.
About Spider-Man and...
It'll just be another Spider-Man Halo episode. Oh, no.
I can't talk about The Boys because you haven't seen it yet.
No, I've only watched the first episode, so...
So good.
Is that, is that Blackberry? Come here, I'll give him a shit. You can pop him in on the podcast quickly.
Blackberry's a phone, man.
Here he is. He gets to be on an episode of the podcast for a short little intro.
Can't
Little
see.
Blackberry.
Oh, there you can.
So I can show you actually what I haven't shown. Have I shown you what his issue is?
He's in the shadows.
So he's actually got
I
club
think,
foot.
maybe?
So see his arms.
Yeah.
It's got different. They're actually deformed and they actually stick out sideways, not below like a normal.
Ah.
So he's got little wingdings, kind of like things, but then he's got club foot as well. So you can kind of see.
That
his-
wouldn't hamper him though, would it? Really?
He can't really walk too well. Well, he hobbles around, he
Yeah,
hops around,
okay.
he gets he just disappears. He's black.
I'll explain that he's going to have
He,
physical therapy.
look, he just
But
stroking your
we're
beard
gonna
there.
we got a wheelchair for him coming. Oh, it's alright, dude. It's alright.
Oh, hell yeah. So
Oh,
he can
no,
just start wheeling around.
Take it back.
I know, that's what I would have meant.
But
He
I'll
can
try to put
start
him back on
popping
the back.
wheelies, bro.
But yeah, so we've got a wheelchair coming for him. But yeah, we massage him. We get him out and he gets massaged and stuff like that and help him. But yeah, so he's
Very
deformed.
nice.
So we're like, when a creature's on fours, their arms are like this. So he's a formed back like that, and then because of the club foot, his paws are like that. So he's got wingdings.
We got to like try and
Yeah, and he hops around and he basically
kind of like a mole thing. Like,
yeah. So that's how he moves around.
like
But
gonna
he's
dig their way through.
so adorable, Blackberry. But yeah, can't wait for him to get his wheelchair. Figure out how to strap him on, and he'd be like, yeah, running around in a little wheelchair. It's his front upper body, so he can actually like move around, not just like hobble around how he does.
Right?
So yeah, that'd be kind of cool for that. But anyway,
It's like one of them dogs with the they just start chucking fucking drifting.
yeah, exactly. I know it'd be crazy how fast he moves when he actually has that. Like, it'd be interesting to see how he walks around because it'd be good for his back legs as well because of the fact he's been so slumped, and he
It'd be
uses his back
lifting
legs to he'd be able to lift him up like more leveled height kind of thing, and then he'd actually be able to like walk around normally and stuff, and it'd be good for him to get him out and doing that. So
Ooh.
pretty good. But anyway,
Get him on the old TikTok.
yeah. Oh, with that out the way, get it going.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that reference in a second. But what's up, Beardies and Beardettes? Welcome back to another fine episode of the Beardy Bros podcast. Oh, so I realized, didn't I say like last episode I didn't do the intro properly and I didn't do the whole... It was just a weird...
There was no intro really.
It was just I kind of said it but didn't. And then I also noticed as well I spent the whole episode playing with my fucking beard. So if those that saw him are like, what the fuck is he doing? I do apologize. I was fidgeting that episode, and yeah. I played with my beard the whole episode, which was a lot more than I realized. I thought it was just a couple times I kept going like this, but going through editing that and speeding through, I had it on hyper speed, and just see my hand going. Like, for the whole duration, there's like barely any times I stopped doing it. I was like, fuck, I know. You don't realize sometimes you do stuff subconsciously and you don't realize how much you do, but you do something. But my headset's plugged in. I just want to make sure it doesn't die on me. But yeah, so the little joke we're going, so there's a little joke between me and Jim at the moment. So we've been playing a lot of Ark. We've been playing a lot of the Fjordor. I actually uploaded a video onto my YouTube as well for that. Jim, when we first played.
I think it goes for about 20 odd minutes.
Yeah. You saw it. Yeah. So I was like, I forgot to record it. I was just going through cleaning up my computer this afternoon, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, let's just upload it. Let's go with it. Like, it's when we first started exploring. I was like, fuck it, you know. And I was like, upload.
I named the dodo Moo Moo. I heard all that in the start of the episode.
I was like, oh, I forgot. Like, I literally forgot I'd done that because we had been like, I've spent like 50 hours in the game now, over 50 hours. So we found a lot on Fjordor, yeah. But what we've got now compared to how we were, where we're just like trying to find a location, and then now we've actually got a proper base. Like,
beach pub.
yeah, It's crazy how
We're
far
just
we've
in a
come. Shack.
little fucking shack with a few dodos.
Yeah, and now look, it's up on the
Now
hill.
it's
I have to
Rex, and
get more of that.
we've now got a Maywing. We've got a Snow Owl.
We got so much. We got so much. It's so good. Oh, it's crazy. But it does suck. I
I'm
mean,
going to get on later tonight
gonna
because it's
try and get
times
on.
2.
So that's the thing too I want to talk about
Oh.
as well. We'll talk about. So the joke was saying before we go on. So if people don't know with Ark, when you get hungry or dehydrated, your character makes these grunt noises. So jokingly, me and Jim have just been joking about that. So it's just something that we've been doing. So we just it just happens. It's great. So it's just a running joke. Who knows how long it will last? But yeah, no. So we've been playing that. Definitely one thing we're gonna get into, which is a pain in the ass for us, being that we're on the OC servers, for us because it's closest for us to play. One of the biggest issues we found is because that region is so big when you think about what's in Oceania. We only have 4 servers. And there's like 4 PvE servers or something like that. There's a few PvP ones, but we want to play PvE because we don't really we don't want the combat. We want to just enjoy playing the game.
I've had combat for years. I'm like, I'm over it now.
Yeah, and the best thing too, people trolling bases, because I reckon if we built in PvP, not being able to get on like for a few days would be a pain in the ass. Which for us is like we actually have had that happen before in the past where we played on a server. We built this base, we left it, and we come back and it had been demolished by like a giga or some shit. Someone had come through with it and just fucking trolled us and destroyed. And it's like, well, we spent hours on that building shit, and they just come in and just wrecked it with no time. It's like, well, that's just a waste of time. Like. So that's why we play PvE. We converted to that.
That was our own fault though. Like we just left for a few days and like, oh, I've been on Ark for a while. Shit.
Yeah, and then it was all gone and pain in the ass. But no, but the biggest downside we have, so being that there's so minimal servers, when the weekends come around, it's like packed because the servers are only like 70 per people, like 70 people per server.
Yeah.
So and it's fucked. It's just like we can't really get on. When the weekends come because hey, it's the weekend, everyone's jumping on. I don't blame them, but like it's like 2 times we want to like experience a little bit of that. Like we want to get a little bit of sample and help level up our shit and do things. Like, fuck. And if people just get on and just hog it like constantly, it's just and you gotta be quick getting in. Like when I was to the Switch like last night when I was like I'm done and you got kicked out. And then you try to get back in and you couldn't. And I was like, let's do a switch. And you had to find that I had to disconnect and you had to connect like that, like really quick.
Like straight up.
It was crazy, like how quickly you had to join in. It was unbelievable.
It's mad. Like so many people waiting.
You gotta be straight onto it, like boom, boom, boom.
Because we don't know when someone leaves. All of a sudden it's like join. Like, fuck, just join. I've got these names. Just start joining like random new people we haven't seen before. It's like
It's like, it's going to be so bad with all these new people coming to the server when the server is 70 people max. We're seeing so many people joining where we could see an up to most of like 300 people joining a server that only holds 70 people.
Yeah.
Imagine that rotation of like having all these people trying to get in to play. Like, and then there's those people trolling at the moment as well. We've seen where they've been like getting things, baiting dragons and stuff to follow them.
The wyverns.
Yeah, luring the wyverns to different people's bases and stuff. And
it's only the one base because I think they want the land.
Oh yeah, most
they want to get them out of there.
So that's why we
just ask them to leave, and they might.
They might,
like, don't just attack their tamed or base. Like
I think for us, if we need to definitely get our defenses up a little bit more for that reason, in case people come by and they want to do it to us, be like, we want you out of our spots. Like we've been here for God knows,
Yeah, I know where to find some plants to put up that shoot. So
because we might have to do that at some point. So
try and
kick us out of our spot, because it may happen at some point.
Oh, well, if they want their like.
I know it's so weird, but like.
No one goes past our base. So, like, there's only the one person who wanted to use our place to teleport. Like,
yeah, it's
like what the hell? Like a group of 4 people. It's like we're teleporting.
So weird.
Like what?
But no, it's fun. So basically, we've been playing.
Too lazy to fly to
We've been playing Ark basically. What else have you been? What have you been playing? You playing Ark? We've been playing Ark.
Rocket League.
Rocket League as always. I've been big in I've been getting into Fall Guys. Now that it's free to play, which has been pretty fun.
When that's working.
Yeah, I tried jumping on today. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to play. I want to do my little challenge, do some stuff. I was like, nope. Load times were just ridiculous. But I looked up on a thing. Apparently, when I checked, it was like 250,000 players were on. I was like, sheesh, it's the most I've ever had. Because when it looking at the statistics
it's free,
that
so
they had,
everyone has it.
Apparently, it's the most concurrent players it seems seen for Fall Guys in general. Like now, even though it's been delisted as well, it's the most they've seen.
Because it was only on Steam and PlayStation. That's why now it's on
Epic.
Twitch.
Yeah, because Epic have it.
Epic, well, still PC. Everyone's got Epic.
Because Epic bought because Epic
everything.
bought Media. Was it Media? I can't remember. The
Mediatonic.
Mediatonic. Yeah, so Epic bought them. That's why
Mediatonic.
they got everything. So crazy.
And I didn't realize that. You know when Psyonix had Rocket League back in the day?
Yeah.
That was still pretty much owned by Epic because Psyonix has been with Epic since the mid 2000s or earlier.
It's just they put more input once it came around. They got more of the ownership. Like they put more of the.
Because Rocket League was a 10-year game.
Yeah.
They made that like nearly 20 years ago.
Well, you said didn't you get the original version of what the game was? Like the Rocket Battle Cars, whatever, didn't you?
Super powered acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Car. Fuck me, that name is.
It's crazy.
It's on PS3. You can
Rocket
download.
League. Yeah, now it's just Rocket League. It's crazy.
The physics are still the same. They had those physics on PS3. It just looks a lot nicer now.
It's
So I was
crazy.
like, they did some good work because they helped out on Gears of War on that Psyonix.
Oh, yep.
And they made Unreal Tournament stuff.
Oh, okay. Yep.
They made a whole Unreal Tournament game. Number 4, like they made the battle mode for that.
UE4, yeah.
Like the one with the car that had the big slices on the
Yeah.
side. That made by Psyonix.
Ah,
They've always done car things.
interesting. That's
Fucking cool.
That is cool.
Because I watched a documentary on like making Rocket League. I'm like, I'll just watch this. I spent like 2 hours just watching. I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, you learn some stuff, eh? When you look at like behind the scenes.
And then it reads on PS Plus. Sony was the only one who wanted the game. Like they said yes.
No, they actually wanted to support it and go
and
with
they
it.
took the gamble to launch it there.
Yep.
Then they had to take it off because everyone was playing it on there and not actually buying it. And they had to remove it and all that. Like that's because they get the CEO to say it all. Like he was telling the whole thing.
Yep.
And like they just had like a good bunch of people there. Like
That's crazy.
crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, documentary was 2016. They made that.
Oh wow, so it's not really that old.
So
Really.
not long after the launch of Rocket League.
Yeah.
That came out what 2015 on PS4.
Something like that. So
and
they would have been talking about, I guess, the conversion of them starting where they started, like you say, and covered everything. Them transitioning
well, they put all their money into Rocket League, which was a side project.
Yep.
And then it just look at it now, like they don't do nothing else.
It's like a big IP, like tournaments and everything. It's an esport game. So there's so much behind it.
Well, because they were doing contract work with Epic.
Yep.
Like they help with Gears, help with some other things, general tournaments, other stuff. And then because Rocket League was on the side of that, and then they're like, we've just made something fucking epic here. Then, bam! Then they made the PS3 one.
Yep.
Which I didn't know what they did. They made like a Tony Hawk game with cars before the Rocket League.
Makes sense because that whole how it's you're sliding and kind of it's
They
not
had-
just
they had
driving, you're like
ramps
doing
and-
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they added all the stuff because they said like that didn't work as a game.
Mm-hmm.
But
'Cause, like, what
one
would you
dude
do?
in Sonic said make soccer with it, and it and it worked.
Using the concept of ramps and stuff still, but then you're hitting a ball, which is the concept of giving you an objective. It actually
And you
works.
know how the corners are, like how the corners are like
Yeah.
the ball just. That's how it took them weeks or months to get the corners right because they just kept bouncing in all stupid fucking directions.
It wasn't
and the
hitting.
car couldn't drive on it.
Yep. The hitboxes weren't working
It's like-
properly.
They just smooth out everything. Like,
That's crazy. Fuck.
and now look at it. Like, Rocket League's been a thing since PS3, like 2007,
That's phenomenal.
8. It's been.
But
It's
before,
just it got popular with the PS4 and that because of course, it was on PS Plus. I think the original version was PS Plus as well.
yeah, something like that.
It
Yeah.
was on there. So
Crazy.
crazy.
But I was gonna say before we go any further, thank you as always for joining us here on the Beardy Bros. Remember to always like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, go on over to the YouTube, check it out there. You get to see our lovely faces. If you haven't looked at our lovely faces yet,
Yeah.
but if you're on the YouTube and you don't like looking at our mugs, then you can go on over and listen to us on Spotify. So, you know, if we don't please your eyes, then maybe we can just please your ear holes. So, it's one of those things. Here, there, everywhere. Up to you. But yeah.
all at once.
And then and as always, Jim's got it this week. He's wearing the Beardy Jim, the Mario Beardy Jim knockoff. Whatever, I don't even know what we call
Our
it.
beard covers like
Shouldn't say it's a Mario
nearly
knockoff.
half the fucking thing.
Yeah, I know. Last week I had mine on. But yeah, you can get those on the store as well. You should put the link down below on the YouTube.
Although it's so fucking massive.
Slack Division, Beardy Bros Slack Division podcast.
Slack Division.
So we got all kinds of merch.
The fickle.
The official merch, exactly. Can you see it? Can't really see it.
Yeah, a fickle.
A fickle. but no, I've been
somewhere.
There it is. You can see it. A fickle. I've been playing
somewhere there.
A lot of GTA RP, which has been pretty fun. Just doing that before, as you heard. Plugged the podcast. I was like, I'll be back, and they go, oh, what? Yeah, I'll plug that. So yeah, so I've been playing some GTA RP on the Blackout networks. It's been pretty when we first joined, because those that listen and watched Juddy's on the podcast with us usually. So he's the one that introduced me to the server, and we've been pretty good. So for a while when we first started on the server, it was through Limitless, and it was kind of active at first, and it converted over to Blackout. We've got new in there. And it's been a bit, I guess, since the change around, there was a few little hiccups here and there, and then there's a few different political, I guess, people getting a bit too political, having issues with shit, so they've, left, and it's kind of gone a bit quiet again, but we're trying to pick it back up, and I think it's been pretty good at the moment, because we're trying to get help the server come alive again, because we're being active in it and interactive, and that's what it comes down to.
Takes time.
You need people to really get involved, because I feel like there's a lot of people that know how to RP, and there's others that don't know how to RP. It's like, it's not necessarily that hard. I mean, you just put in a character and you just go with it.
You just play as whatever. You make up a character and you go with it.
Yeah, exactly. Just pretend. Like, you don't have to be you, and you don't have to be political or have any agenda with it. Like, just.
I mean, you can just be yourself, really, if you felt.
Well, that's exactly it. So, but I know, I feel like some people take things a bit too seriously. I mean, you can't take that away from some people that ingrained to be
you do have to take RP serious, because you can do stupid stuff and get banned.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. I mean, we muck around. We do.
It is a serious thing. You can't just go at it just like, I'll try it,
and then
if you don't like it, get the fuck out.
That's it. But no, it's pretty good server. Like with this one, it's very inclusive. They're trying to get a lot of people in to join and play around. It's just as long as you're not a straight up dick, trolling and stuff like that. It's got to be reasonable. That's what it really comes down to, which is pretty good. So. It's been pretty fun so far playing on that server, and hopefully get you in there more often. Because Lou, Jodie's character Lou, is keen to meet John for sure. So Lou keeps asking me, asking Daryl, where's John? Where's your mate? Is he joining? Is he supposed to be flying in? I haven't met him yet. So so all the RP. So
I can't even describe what my dude even looks like.
He's like really rockabilly, definitely very rockabilly.
Yeah,
got that pompous hairdo. The big beard, that fucking Elvis pompous hairdo, leather jacket, straight up like
this, really.
Yeah, dark beard, pointed. More pointed.
I think it's a t-shirt. I think it's a shirt.
Hey,
I think it's a shirt.
No, you have a beard. You have a big ass beard.
No, not a jacket though. When you said jacket.
No, you got the leather. You got the leather racing jacket.
Oh, is it?
With the stripes down the side. It's the black one. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I did there.
Yeah.
And the jeans and the boots.
Yeah. I remember John. You can't remember John. That character is hilarious.
That's how I dress in real life, except for lately, because you can't wear jeans in winter. Fuck, it's cold.
Yeah. But no, it's been pretty good.
Jeans hold no heat.
I'll mostly jump back onto that later if everyone's still on. Who knows? Because we it doesn't take too long.
Who knows?
Who knows? Otherwise, we try and get into Ark.
3 hours, bro.
He wants to go 3 hours. It's not going to happen.
Finish about 12.
You think that's going to happen? It's not going to happen. It was kind of funny though, because I was
just cuts it off and goes to bed. And boom, gone.
And we're done. But no, it was kind of funny because I mentioned
if it just cuts off, that's what happened.
I mentioned to Juddy because I was plugging the podcast and I was like, well, old mate over here has a podcast as well. Like Juddy wasn't saying anything. I'm like, well, plug yourself, dude. Like, people are asking. People say, "Oh, you got a thing?" Yeah, like if people ask, then just say, "Hey, I've got this thing. If you want to listen." Like, I have no bro. Like, like that's why I always plug people. It's like share it, spread the news, like share the love. If people want to know,
I'll get that on Twitch. So I usually watch Twitch after the podcast.
Yeah.
And they say, "What have you been up to?" I'm like, "I just done the podcast." Like, "Oh, plug it in chat." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, like people are asking, you just telling them what you're doing, like. But no, right? he goes. Oh, if you got, Jody goes, if you got a bit of time to spare, hour and a half to whatever, he goes, you can watch them. If you've got like only 45 minutes, you can come watch us. I'm like, you can talk. I've seen your episodes that have been an hour and a half. I've looked. You've got no 45-minute episodes.
What, the last like handful of episodes been over an hour?
Yeah, I was like, it's like I can see you talking. He goes, oh, that's when we have guests on. I'm like, you sure about that? That means you've had guests like every fucking episode for the last goddamn 6 or 7. No, it's funny. It's great. But no,
you can't really time them because you don't know what's going to happen. Like,
that's exactly
it. You can say 45 minutes, but is it going to happen?
The most ones I've always listened to have always been about an hour and a half, usually. I've never really listened to podcasts about 45 minutes. Like, and that's the thing too.
Longer.
That's the thing that gets me too. If you've committed listening for 45 minutes, you can commit that little bit longer, like that extra 45. Like, it's not bad. Or you can just watch for 45, leave it, and come back. Like, that's the thing with our podcast. Like, you can come in halfway through and just pick a segment that we're talking about or whatever we're going on about rambling, because it's either going to relate. We're going to double back on something we've already talked about, or you just join along with what we're doing. Like, that's the good thing about us. Like,
Halo.
Yeah, we're not going there again. Fuck. For a while.
No, I'm not.
We got to space
for the rest of the fucking year.
Oh. And then some more news, Spider-Man news or Halo news comes out.
One thing. There's no Halo news now. Like, I've seen nothing of that show for weeks.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no, there was a news I don't want to talk about. There was news I did see about it. Okay, I don't want to dive too deep into it because we don't want to make this about Halo.
No,
But they basically were coming out and said, like, both Pablo came out, and apparently the director or writer, or whatever it was, one of them, they've come out now and said, we wanted to make the show. He goes, if you hate it, they're basically trying to correct this, going, if you hated the show, that's how we wanted you to do it. That's how we wanted to do it. So you hated the show. Like, we wanted to, like, they're trying to, like.
That's a stupid business model.
Yeah, like, it's like, if you hated it, we did something right. It's just like, what? It's like, I feel like they're trying to correct themselves for it being hated.
You did it bad on purpose?
That's what they're kind of apparently stabbing at, like that, that's what they're trying to say. It's like,
if you hate it, we did our job, like.
That's not a business model
you go with.
This
is for the fans, and the fans hate it.
Yeah, so
It's not Halo. It's sci-fi.
Yeah, so that's basically all I'll mention about that. So,
like, are they proud of? They put deflection, bro. They're probably like, this is shit. Let's just put something out there.
Yeah, it's just trying to deflect themselves.
Let's just put on a happy face over a sad one, and
basically.
I mean, that show's in shit.
It's like when you do something, you're like, yeah, I did that on purpose. That's what I was meant to do. Like, that's basically what they're doing.
Why Pablo? Why would he be doing that?
Because he's the main face. He's the face.
He just starred in it. Like, he didn't really make it.
He's the face
played
of
the character.
Chief, I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, he's literally the face of Chief now.
We're not going down there.
Chief.
We're not going down there. We're going to talk forever about it otherwise.
You imagine Halo 7 and it's got his face on the game?
You've started going down the rabbit hole. Stop, Jim. We said not to do this. I'm the one that's the Halo fanatic, and I'm telling you to stop.
I was just saying that.
I know.
That's only where I was going.
See the game, and it's like, and you actually see his face.
Maybe it has to be his voice as well, then.
Don't even think about it. Please, not think about it. Let's move on. Mario.
Pratt.
Mario Pratt. Chris Mario.
Mario Pratt.
Mario.
Chris. What is Mario? Is it just Mario? Isn't it?
Yeah, Mario's surname is Mario.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's why
that whole series is fucked.
That's why they're the Mario brothers. It's Mario, and Luigi Mario. Like
Luigi Mario.
That's why it's called the Mario brothers. It legit, like, that's their surname is Mario. Who the fuck? One thing that always gets me, who the fuck thought it was a great idea to be like, they're the Mario brothers. Okay, so who are your characters? Mario and Luigi. So it's Mario and Luigi Mario? Yes. What? What the fuck?
I must say, whoever made that must be high on something, because
Who would have thought to give the main character their own surname?
You sure that's their surname though? Or that's what just because of Mario Bros. That's what you're.
No, that's what they
assuming
went.
is.
That's what they've actually gone with. It's Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
They're the Mario brothers.
That's fucked up.
So when you think about that in that concept, it's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
It's
The whole story is like, Peach doesn't always get kidnapped. She's like, "Come and kidnap me."
yeah, like she like wants it to, like she does it on her own will, and like you really break down that universe.
After the first saving, it shouldn't happen again.
Like that universe, if you really break down, and a lot of people have done this many times before, if you actually break down the universe and the concept and the stories that are actually happening, well, not just that, like the things that are happening make no sense, no logical sense at all. Like these people are willing to do this stuff, keep repeatedly living with it, and like, oh, it's like who would?
Yeah, well, Peach, she willingly goes. She doesn't go kicking and screaming. She just, oh, I'm here now.
Like, okay, I better take it. It's like,
Right? Who was the first? Donkey Kong had her.
yeah,
And then Bowser.
yep. And Wario, I think, kidnapped her at one point.
Oh.
Wario, and Waluigi Wario, the Wario brothers.
Waluigi Mario.
Waluigi Wario.
Yeah, well, fucking Wario's Italian.
Wario.
Mario's not.
But that's what gets me. Is you've got Mario, Luigi, right? And then Wario is just the M turned upside down to make Wario. But then instead of being like
Waluigi.
But then let's just take the WA from Wario and put it at the start of Luigi, so it's Waluigi. So it's like not like Luigi still, or it's not Ouija, like it's Waluigi. Like you couldn't have done.
Wait, Waluigi.
Like why
Waluigi.
why put the WA at the start of like the concept is like who were they thinking when they come up with this shit?
They're German initially.
The characters
They were
German.
fucking German, yeah.
So yeah, so you think about that German.
Wario and
Yeah.
like, and then they went from German to Italian. Like how?
There's no general consensus of these characters. Like
You can't just change nationality. Like you can't. No one can do that. You can't say, "I'm now fucking British."
I mean,
You can't just do that.
in the Mario world,
Wait, we technically are from that area, but still.
that logic makes no sense. They're all over the place.
That's what I mean. Like if you think about Mario, though, like just think about what has happened in the whole series. It is fucked. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
There's no continuity anywhere. And yet it's
And then that's what I said. And then people try to give.
gaming apparently.
That's what I said. And that's why people try to give flack to that live action movie. Have you seen the source material it's based off of? Like what the fuck? How can you give the live action movie they've already got bad flack when you look at the source material? And if you just take away the game concept and look at the actual story like up front and everything else, it makes no sense.
That's fuck all story.
So like the
That's
movie's
not really
doing
there.
the movie's done more to a sense than what the games have pretty much done. But the movie gets flack. Like at least they tried to do something. Like
It's still been better than Halo. I guarantee this movie's going to be like a 9, 8, or 9 out of 10.
It'd be interesting to see what this animated movie's gonna do, what they're gonna do with it.
Now, apparently Chris Pratt threatens the world with best Mario voice. So what is it? Can he give us a sample? Like,
I always joke it's just his Emmett voice. Which is just his voice. Hey guys, it's me, Chris Pratt.
Everything he's been in is just his voice.
That's what I mean. It's fucking hilarious. I still can't get over
What if he does a high pitched voice?
Still can't get
For
over
Mario.
that photo you sent me.
Me, Mario.
I still can't get over that photo you sent me when I checked it. The boys, the fucking
Oh, Butcher.
it cracks me up. Big feet,
You
big
put
head.
it on the thumbnail, bro.
I might. That's fucking
Fucking-
hilarious.
It's so fucking teen. You're like, who the fuck made that? It looks so good. The big ass boots and the big head. Like, what?
Um,
And to be fair, Someone posted that in a comment to this week's episode, but that's got nothing to do with anything. I just put that in there.
That's great.
I'm like, what are they trying to say with it? Like, is it small man syndrome? Like,
I don't know.
what are they trying to say?
I know
with
he
that
looks
fucking,
badass
like,
though. I wouldn't
image?
want to mess with him. If he was like that, I wouldn't want to mess with him.
He's like this fucking dog.
No, I know,
The
but
person's
big
foot.
ass. He's got like big ass feet, and a big head. He'd fucking really with the energy he has. Fuck.
He's like a PS1 character.
Yeah.
Big ass head, fucking big boots.
What's this thing? I want to.
Yeah, I
discuss
saw that
this.
and I was like, that's great.
I want to rant about this a little bit because we rant about it most times too because I'm getting tired of it. You sent me the photo earlier. I'm not going to say who it was from.
Listen to tired of it too.
Hey.
I think they're trying to listen, but this might be our last one ever.
Last one ever.
It just got to be said because Oshane does this thing that made no fucking sense. It's like,
yeah, so
well, it does, but it's
he
like...
talked about it, and I went through and I broke it down, and I sent him all the messages of all the statistics, like the pricings and numbers and equations and everything like that. It's just fucking dumb. So it's still relating yet again. It's basically the console war is never going to end. It's always going to fucking be there. But some of these people are just
People
so
say they're not.
fucked.
They fucking are.
And like people may try and get us going, oh, you're Sony play. Like, no, we balance across the board. We have both systems where we can get them. So we appreciate both. We appreciate games for games.
I just prefer to play PlayStation because trophies.
That's exactly it. Like,
and the exclusives are fucking killing it right now.
So that's exactly it. You can't deny what evidence is there. Like we're just stating what's there. So basically, to clear a lot of facts. Oh, let me clear my throat. Oh god, actually, I might take a lozenge. Is that down? I actually might need a lozenge. I got one right here. I'm gonna pop a lozenge in my mouth. Because my nose is a bit congested. And
Pop a lozenge. It's someone's character. Pop a lozenge.
Pop a lozenge.
Pop a lozenge. Pop a lozenge in your mouth.
It's like, anyone got a lozenge? I need to pop a lozenge in my mouth. And it's just like, dude popped in the corner and it's like, what's up? I'm Pop a lozenge. Okay.
Call my next art character Pop a lozenge.
Alright, bear with me here.
Oh, that's a good GTA name.
Yeah.
What's up? Pop a lozenge. Yeah.
So this is basically from which you showed me, which is basically an Xbox exclusive, like an Xbox account, which is basically Xbots, which there are Sony ponies and there are Xbots. We know that they exist, and we're not going to deny that they aren't around.
Way more Xbots I see. Like fuck.
There seems to be that's what I always get. That's the thing to me that I see more Xbots is because I don't know why, but that's always getting pushed to me. I know Sony ponies exist, but I don't see that shit because for some reason that's not being pushed at me. But Xbox stuff is, and it's just how I'm seeing it at the moment. Most of the stuff isn't being fact checked properly, and a lot of it's very clickbaity and not showing the right facts, and people just get confused by the facts and then start spitting more of these nonsense fake news.
They're making their own narrative, which pleases their own audience.
And it makes this false news and keeps getting spread around, and then all these things, articles pick it up, and it's like, that's not true until you break it down. So basically the headline...
They should do a bit of research before they say... Like, we do our research for most...
You sent me this thing. I took, a couple of minutes to find the research with all the stats, so I've got it all here, so we'll go through it now. So their headline was basically Xbox outsells outsells PS5. Fuck's sake. Xbox outsells PS5 in Japan. To that title, that is not false, but to what actually is false, and that's the problem because you look at these things, people go, there's context to that though, and that line.
There's one main issue. Supply isn't there for Sony because they can't make any.
Well, that's part of
one thing.
That's the biggest thing in which I'll talk about.
Like,
that's right. There's a whole thing. So basically, yes, they're not wrong in context to a point, but they've taken it out of context, and people just get this misconstrued thought going, "Oh, they've also PS5." It's like, no, you need to break it down and actually look at everything, or put it all together, not break it down because it has been broken down.
Yeah.
So basically, the report came from that they sold over 6K units over PS5, which sold only 2K units between the PS5 digital and the PS5's physical consoles. Okay, yes, that is true. They oversold PS5, but that's only for 2022. That's not counting 2021 or 2020 or you know.
Yeah.
That's not counting that. That's only, and it was only for the month of May. So in 1 month, they sold more units in 1 month. But again, it is the Series S console that sold 16K units. Exactly, because it's cheaper. They didn't sell any Series X's.
That's because it's the only one available at the time they can only purchase.
Exactly. We've already
if they
seen...
had a choice, they'll be picking the PlayStation.
Majority.
Japan, like...
Well, even going further into stats, we'll break this down even more. So, and this is the funny thing too, because people have already made their choice. Which I'm going to delve in is, like, if they've gone with a Series S, they're not going to want a Series X because they've got the Series S. So in turn, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot and done Xbox dirty and themselves dirty, because the Series S is
They didn't do Xbox dirty.
Not really, no.
They just done themselves dirty.
They've done themselves dirty, but they basically shot themselves in the foot.
Even though, not really, because what are they playing on it? Not exclusive.
Well,
they're playing third party, so...
Oh, I'm my nose again.
They're playing third party stuff.
There's third party. So, I don't know how much you read, but I got it all there. So basically, they did themselves stupid, because looking at all these stats, which I will break down, is really dumb as a consumer. Because, okay, they sold 6K units of Series S's. No, barely any Series X's were sold. Okay, you're trying to make it sound like a win. They've gone with a loss. I mean, physical, digital... Maybe
it's not really a loss, but it's a downgrade from a Series X.
That's what I was going to say. So it's an inferior model. Inferior and superior model to the Series X. The Series X is the more powerful unit. So they kind of done themselves wrong by going with that. So going through the stats that we've got here. So if we go back the year prior. So we'll go to the stats first. So 6K units of the Series S were sold alone, which of course beat PS5's ranking of 2K units only sold between both units, but that's short supply demand. There's more demand of Series S, which we've seen. There's less supply of Series X's, less supply of PS5s, which makes sense why that's selling more. In total alone, between both to date, since their launch...
It's really 2-1, isn't it? Like, fuck.
This is combined. Xbox Series X and S has sold a total of 125,000 units. Whereas prior, Xbox One to date, which I'm assuming is Xbox One and Xbox One X, most probably Xbox One S as well, to date only sold 115k units. So, that's seeing the original audience plus an extra 10k people buying the next models. That's how I see it. I see it's those that have already got the one, have either upgraded to the Series S or X, or some new members have bought it.
That's pointless, because you know what the X is pretty fucking good.
So, I statistically see this reading the numbers. The target audience from the years prior have now, in a lump sum, re-bought the new generation. Maybe not, maybe, but that's how I see it in general.
Some have bought into it because they can't get a PS5 yet.
So, the exact ratio of how many people have bought into Xbox over PlayStation isn't there. And I'm going to say, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the exact number is. But I'm comparing that the number of total consoles sold was 115 compared to 125. So I am seeing, my personal looking at the logic of stats is, I'm seeing the target audience being matched. So, the people like me, if I like the Xbox, I'm going to buy it, I'm 1 for 1. So this is basically 1 for 1 of their target audience buying the consoles. But if we look at and that's to date. So in total, to date, next-gen consoles have sold 125 units. We look at to date for PS5s. To date, between both the digital and the physical, they've sold nearly 1 million units. To be exact, 942,798 units have been sold of the PS5 to date. To date. That's a shit ton more.
Well, it's 100k to 900k. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Alright. That's a big difference. Who's outselling there? Well, in fact, who's actually selling is Nintendo. So year to date,
5 million
from 20. Well, this is actually just technically from 2021. At the end of 2021, basically, this is the numbers of end of 2021. So realistically, I don't even know what Sony's units are to date. It mostly is a million.
Right? Yeah.
And this is like world numbers. This is world numbers. So what Japan's getting? Okay? Maybe there's a bit more in Japan, but worldwide, when the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. Doesn't matter if one country is getting more outsells than the other, because it's demand. And clearly, even with the short demand, Sony still made their matches. I mean,
because you can see a Series S and X in the store usually, like a fuck ton of them.
So it's like I say, it's not necessarily false information.
Also, Microsoft paid extra to get production, so they kind of bought their way in front there.
Exactly it. So
they paid for more part, like they paid a lot for it too. Like fuck.
But I can understand them doing that, taking the advantage, going while PS5's down and not being able to get the demand out. Let's push our demand out, which of course makes sense for more sales.
But also, when the PS5 becomes available, that's gonna just because people are finally gonna go, I can get one now and pull the fucking trigger.
So I mean, I couldn't find the exact numbers how much they've sold to date in Japan with everything else. That's
not really a win. It's just one region. It's like, yeah, but there's a reason there's no PS5s to buy. That's
actually, no, this was Japan, actually, wasn't it?
Hey.
Actually, no, this was in Japan only.
Yeah.
You know, I'm saying worldwide. No, worldwide there's a shit ton more. Actually, no, in Japan alone they did sell fucking... No, that's right, this was Japan stats. What am I thinking? Yeah. I did say that originally. Yeah, no, my bad. These were actual Japan numbers. No. Yeah. I had to double think that because I've been doing so much this afternoon. So no. So yeah, no. So no. This is right. So yeah, these are Japan numbers. My bad. I do remember that.
Nearly a million more PS5 sold.
So yeah, 5.3 million units. Yeah, so 5.3 million units for Nintendo, which is their Switch basically. There's 3 different Switch consoles. That have been sold in Japan. That's a lot. 5.3 million units of Switches sold in Japan. 942,000.
They're friendly. Everyone can put one in their living room.
There was the other thing too in Japan. PS4s sold nearly just as much as the Xboxes did.
Yeah, recently, like
in Japan, this is last year's stats. 103,786 units of PS4s were sold in Japan.
You can't get a PS5. That's why you can't get one. So they had to buy a PS4 and then wait for the like.
So them going on about, you know, these people going on about, oh, Xbox outsells in Japan. Maybe in 1 month, because apparently those sale numbers come from May. But a year to date, they're doing horrible.
They always have done though. Like, that's crazy, man. That says like only 100,000 last two, like for the one X and shit. So
yeah,
I mean, congrats to got them by another 10k, but like, that's still not the best. Like, you ideally will want more than 10k. Like, you probably want maybe, let's say, another 100k, 200k, easy. But they won't get that yet. Yeah, I mean, it's their own fault because the games they don't want. Japan's an RPG place. Like, they got the JRPGs, which are on PlayStation. I mean, Persona, the collection will go to Xbox soon on Game Pass. They'll have it on there, but that's only like 3 games out of tens of hundreds. Go to PlayStation JRPGs. There's fucking 1,000 of them.
Well, that's the thing too. From what I was looking at, that collection is supposed to be re-dropping for PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
So it's not even exclusive to Xbox. Like, not an introduction. Nope. Like, it's like he's coming to Xbox, but it's coming to other things.
Yeah. Switch, I think. I
apologize for that, but I think
PS5, PC. I think it's just Xbox have never sold well in any of the Asia territories.
And I can see that makes sense for them to try and push those games because the units have kind of pushed up a little bit higher. It's go okay. Let's introduce those games back to those users.
10K is nothing though, really, when you think about it.
No, when you think of the base target audience.
Because they'll probably only sell 1,000 copies of Persona with that from there. 1,000, maybe 2, 3.
Well, that's the thing too, because we're looking at it's an extra 10K people that have bought into Xbox.
Who's gonna buy games? Who's gonna have Game Pass? Who's gonna?
There's no.
Who's actually gonna play? Who's gonna use it just as a fucking Blu-ray player?
The only thing that I don't have statistically from that though, which would be nice to see the jump difference if we actually knew, but that's kind of really delving privacy.
We'll probably see it next month or something, like a bit later.
No, I was gonna say is you wouldn't be able to see who jumped where. That's the privacy kind of thing. You wouldn't know.
Oh yeah.
How the percentage of who shifted where, but it'll be interesting to see because we still met the same demographic for the Xbox. It's not when they upgrade; they've only gone like I said 10K. But how many people have come over from PlayStation permanently or temporarily? Who knows? People change. We don't know. We don't know if they're going to permanently change or temporarily change.
Tempting because they can play the new games on the Series S while they wait for PS5.
But the thing is, I'm be interesting to know how many people in that interim of these things coming and going, how many people jumped from PlayStation to Xbox, and how many people jumped from Xbox to PlayStation. That would be a kind of cool shift to actually see those number changes.
On Twitter, I've seen a few.
Because it looks like I said,
vice versa.
Basically it's a fair trade. With Xbox at this stage, it's only 10K more users. So that's either 10K of people coming from PlayStation to Xbox, or it's the new age growing up where we've got now a few more people growing, then they get the generations bought over.
Or someone who's got a PlayStation, got an Xbox to have both. Or,
again, another thing is, families are a bit different these days, but there could be how many per household? Okay, we sold an extra 10K. How many extra units are in the household? Is there an extra unit? So there's 2 in the house, 3 in the house, 4 in the house. So technically is it still one household buying it, but there's 4 units? What are these statistic numbers? Are there people buying them that are buying a couple of them, but they've gone boxed away? Are there some of them scalpers that are buying up the Series S's to scalp?
I reckon that would be one of them because scalpers are still a fucking thing.
That's exactly it. So we don't know exactly what the extra statistic is. We don't know.
10K probably could be scalped. Easy.
That's exactly my point. So we have no idea.
Even more than 10K, fuck.
I mean, technically it could be users that bought into it could have been only 80K or 90K. The rest could be all scalped consoles. We don't know.
It could be 500K scalped for PlayStation 5. Who fucking knows it? Any of that?
There's no statistics on what actually sells. So we don't know it all in the end, but we know by numbers of units that have sold how many have actually been sold. And it's Xbox has got a long way to catch up. I mean, Xbox is only recently in the last couple of years.
They have years to catch up. They've lost many years.
Because because the biggest market was always Nintendo and Sony in Japan. Xbox has only been there for the last couple of years, really pushing it more and more. They've been trying to push that Asian market.
They've been there since the console first one launched, but it was a very small market.
Very niche, very niche market, by all means. Even 360 didn't really boom that well. It wasn't until the Xbox One where people were like, "Oh, let's branch out a little bit," and it started growing from there. That's why we see.
Also, did they game because that was branded as an entertainment box?
Yeah. Which can be very misleading.
You plug your fucking satellite in there and shit. You watch TV through your Xbox.
And how it's marketed and translated marketing, and you never know with these things. You never know.
It's just a media box.
But anyway.
But
yeah, so that's one thing. I'm just tired
of seeing.
Believe
the real fucking facts. Don't believe the clickbait. Xbox outsold. Blah blah blah.
That's basically it.
You see the pictures they put there.
And that's basically it. When you come to us, we'll give you the actual facts. We'll break down these facts. If you're watching this and you see anything that you see that seems a bit suspicious with the news, we'll break it down. We'll find it. We'll look up the actual facts and we'll break it down. I'm happily
send us a message on Twitter, Instagram,
tag us and stuff.
Comments, and we'll freaking sort things out.
We will tear them apart. We will break down their theories and these fake news and everything. We will give you the real news. We will find it where it can be found.
So many bots.
There's so many, and I'm getting sick of the fake news. Because it gets shared, and then all these people believe it, and they're like, "Oh no, but there's it's not real. It's false news that's being shared around that people have made up for clickbait." And
it's pretty much lying.
And half the people don't even watch the things; they just see the headlines and the short snippet of the article. It's like, did you even actually read or watch the video? Because they actually explain sometimes with these things. They actually explain themselves a little bit more. But people just take the thing as a grain of salt and go, "Oh, this thing runs a mile with it." It's just that's not. Look at the content, read it, watch it, actually hear what they are saying. But no, these people just go, "Oh, this is what this such and such said."
Microsoft did.
Yeah,
look, it's Forza gameplay.
Yeah,
the same thing.
We've seen people break that down.
Blah 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 more than PlayStation, but there's more to it.
Yeah, like the Forza stuff
Like,
was all done on PC, and it was just like it's fucking dirty. It wasn't even
it was-
Xbox
it was-
console
it was-
play. It was all
it
PC
was
play.
replay mode.
Yeah, so it made it look prettier. Like fuck. Just don't false advertise. People go, oh, it's the people trying to defend it. Don't false advertise me something that I'm not getting. Don't false advertise me a nice luxurious silver with orange striped Lamborghini with nice off-road tires and gold rims, and then when I go to buy it for the same price, I'm getting a grey Lamborghini with like
Purple
friggin'
stripes and
purple, not even purple stripes, like not even fucking, they're like orange stickers, not even like paint.
Ugh.
It's like getting stickers with fucking shitty
Fucking
ass
decals.
bronzed tires. Like you're advertising the wrong thing. Like that's false advertising. Don't take false advertising. Like it's just beyond a joke that people go, oh, and they defend this shit. This is why they keep doing it. It's because you're defending it. Don't fucking defend it as a consumer. That's the problem. It's not trying to call out like, oh, I'm trying to make Sony. No, it's not Sony can be better. It's like Xbox is being fucking dirty. Sony companies can have sometimes be like that, but who knows? Like
they do.
it happens
No,
everywhere.
but not now. Like not recently, because they've always put it's captured on a PS5
yes.
kit or like a actual PS5 or a dev kit. They blatantly see if it's PC, PlayStation. They put it at the bottom.
And that's
in
what gets
clear
me now.
writing.
It's like that's what's getting a lot of people. A lot of people asking those questions now. What else was shown at the Xbox presentation that was done on PC? Because if it's shown on PC,
Oh, Starfield was.
we're not. Hey, Starfield was on PC.
Starfield was, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We need to see Xbox gameplay. They keep talking about how good Xbox is. Well, then give us actual gameplay to show off the power of the Xbox.
Well, they have.
Like,
They got the future to do it.
oh. But isn't the future
Where's,
now?
where's the new Hellblade and all that shit? Fable, like, give us some of that, man.
Oh, it's just
Man.
dirty when they say, oh, like here's all this stuff, but then they're showing on a completely different system. That's a different system. A PC is different to the Xbox Series X. Like it's two.
It should be
different
Microsoft
systems.
showcase at that point, not Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it makes no sense. It's not, and then they'll do the whole.
Actually, they would sell more if they actually made a Microsoft showcase.
But like I said, people will drop the excuse going, oh, it's Xbox, and that means it's Xbox Game Pass. That's on PC. It's like, no, that's PC Game Pass. If you're gonna be fucking accurate, they dropped the Xbox PC Game Pass. It's called PC Game Pass. Like, oh.
Did you see the Bethesda fans defending Starfield, saying we already know it's going to be a buggy mess, so we're just going to accept it? Don't
Accept it. This is the problem. You are going to give him millions and billions of dollars because you're going to consume it.
They said the bugs are the charm of Bethesda games.
There should be no bugs.
Bugs break the game.
Like, why are you accepting this norm?
It's 2022.
Like, I went in with the expectation of the Cyberpunk that it was going to be a great game. It was buggy as fuck. But I already bought it because of how it was advertised to me.
Yeah, you actually rage quit after the first few weeks. You played a bit on the.
But then I after
One,
yeah,
like, nope.
and then updated, and then it grew on me. But the game itself grew on me. Yeah, it was still fucking buggy mess and a piece of shit. Like the messes, but the game itself, the environment, the story, there was substance there that drew me in.
The environment was a bit.
It had its glitchy moments, but like
I mean the look of it as well. Like there's a fucking lot of empty space.
Oh yeah, there are actual
Buildings
regions
you
that
can't
are
even
empty.
go into. It's like I think you should be able to go in there, but you can't
Because they
There's
didn't
just a
say that.
building in the middle of nowhere. It's like
Yeah, and why is it locked? Like, why does it have the locked thing on it? But that's something for something for another time. But like, that's the things. Like, I can understand having a game when you get it, and you not knowing how it's gonna run because they didn't advertise it fully. Which again, I mean, it's too late once you've bought it. You can't be like, oh, you bought it and you're spotting it. I already bought it with what was advertised, which assumed was being advertised of what it was. Yeah, they did me dirty in the end for the exact reason they did me dirty in the end, because I had bought it for this one project. Yeah, and then realized what I got, and I was like, oh fuck. But then it grew on me because I kept playing it, and I was absorbed into the universe. Like, you're being shown a mess. Like, they literally showed.
Is worse
They
than
literally
Cyberpunk.
showed fucking Starfield being a mess, and people are like, yeah, that's fine, that's the charm. They literally showing you it's a mess, and you're going to accept that and not be like, look what happened, they did the Halo. Halo looked dodgy with the fucking crag meme and everything, people raged about it. They took time out to fix it. Clearly Starfield has done nothing to... Well, they cleaned up most of it, but...
It still looks the same, just a different... It's not as bad.
Yeah. But like, at least they tried. They actually tried.
Halo Infinite does not look better than 5.
No.
5 looks probably the best.
But they tried. That's the thing. They at least tried, and they're still working on it. But like Starfield so far, we're not. I haven't heard them saying, oh, like, what? It's been how many years? Like,
fuck, you see the AI? The AI was fucking shit. Dude got shot in the back and just continued looting.
And you see that one part, they cut it too. You don't even get to see him run off the cliff, but they cut it. You knew he ran off the cliff. And they cut it because he runs out. Clearly one guy got the attention the AI was shooting at him, the other guy didn't. And you can clearly see he was running off the cliff.
And then he jetpacked over.
And then they just cut it. They cut the scene so you didn't see it happen. Like, try to clean it up, and then the head spinning and all this stuff like we talked about in the other video, but like, these things we can't keep accepting.
The head was backwards, the dude was walking forward, he's facing backwards.
Yeah, that was a big talk about it. Everyone was talking about that, yeah.
Head spin.
It's so...
I was like, there's no excuse for Bethesda now. Like, it's 2022. No game launches like theirs.
And that's the other thing that gets me dirty as well. It's like people go like people are comparing the games, going, "Oh, that's exactly it. It's meant to be next gen. Why are we be given basic crap? That's not next gen."
The guns didn't have no impact. Like, the people didn't get. They never flinched when they got shot. They just like ran at him or just stood there.
And people are accepting next gen the way that they're being dealt next gen. This is like next gen is meant to be innovating. Don't be giving crap that's not innovating and be like, "Oh, this is next gen." It's not. It's currently stuff we've already got. Rinse and repeated. We need innovative. Something bringing new things. Like,
I mean, Fallout 76 was innovative. They tried something new with Fallout.
Yes, they went multiplayer with it.
Starfield's just
that's innovative.
Fallout in space.
Starfield's bringing nothing that we haven't seen. Okay, maybe for them a little bit innovative, just a little bit. New little things, but in a game, as a concept of a game, comparing all games together, it is not innovating at all. You can take any of those, like I've said many times, No Man's Sky, because it does the exact same fucking thing. Where we've got a game to compare it with.
Like everything.
Like there's no, so where's the innovation? Where's something new? We haven't got anything new. Like we've got stuff there. That's what I see as innovating. Is if it's already there, then it's not innovating. Something new, like the PlayStation bringing the new vibration haptic feeling. That's innovation to the controller. That's something new that we've never.
About that. There's been more news on the Callisto Protocol, and they said with their melee combat, you're gonna feel bones breaking with the triggers.
Oh, see, like that's something that's being innovative tech. That's something new. We need Xbox to bring something innovative.
Well, they are bringing that for a controller.
Like, I want. That's the one thing I liked with a lot of stuff that Xbox did back in the day. Like they did games. And they always, some of their games brought new features. They did new things.
Yeah, like but now, Chaos.
I'm seeing stuff with games that are just not, with Xbox at least, that aren't bringing new things to the table. It's the same stuff I've seen in any other game. Same features, same concept, same mechanically kind of... There's nothing new I'm seeing.
Halo Infinite had a grappling hook.
Yeah, but Doom had a grappling hook. Like,
no, that was a grappling shotgun. That was better.
But you know what I mean though? Like, no, you had the grappling hook where you're like, and you like kind of almost did the similar kind of.
Oh yeah, in Doom Eternal.
Mm.
Yeah, but also in the first Doom, they had the fucking shotgun grapple. Or was it Eternal?
And Doom, you gotta think about it. Doom is multi-platform, so therefore, as a game, it's added something innovative. But for Halo, it's like we've already seen someone do that for a shooter.
Bethesda. It was
no,
it was id.
So.
I mean, Bethesda's best games are not made by them.
I just feel like,
it's like Doom,
and that's the other thing too.
Fucking...
Like that's the thing too, because the joke's always been like, and this is what made it the worst. We're kind of coming back to Halo now, where Halo has kind of always been like the parallel to Doom, and that thing made me irk so much. Like it's cool, kind of thing. It's cool, wherever my statue is. But it was just kind of funny that we had Doom Eternal introduce the grappling hook. And then when they revealed Halo Infinite and they showed off the grappling hook, it's just like, you're really just going to be like, bruh, I know I've already been borrowing your homework, but can I borrow some more of your homework? Like, I was like, fuck's, like, we know it's copying your space, a space dude.
That's what Master Chief is, man. It's just a copy of the Doom guy. Like
they call him Demon. They call him Demon. Then you got the Demon Slayer. Like, what? Like, the dude in a green suit, who's this ultra badass, like... They do the same kind of thing. They're the same kind of game. Like, they was so unique, but then it's just, like, they took the concept and then changed it, which was cool. Like, they took that base concept and changed it. Like,
Did you know Doom and
oh.
Wolfenstein are in the same universe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Wolfenstein happened first, because BJ Blazkowicz is the Doom guy's ancestor.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why they've got the same face model in the two games on
Yeah.
the old games.
Oh,
They're fucking related. I'm like, makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because Wolfenstein happened in the 40s.
Yep.
And then Doom happened
In the future.
way later.
Yeah. The Blazkowicz.
Like, so obviously they got some good offspring because.
But I mean, it's a nice tie-in to have a company that's made different games but timed together. Because it's a great way to tie. Then you have different IP franchises, but they exist together, which is great to see that when you can do more.
Same thing.
So you can do more because you can have like here's the Wolfenstein IP and here's the Doom IP, but
one's
they're connected.
Fighting Nazis, one's fighting demons.
And that's the same with like Ubisoft. It did like here's Assassin's Creed universe, and then here's the Watch Dogs, and they're like in the same universe, but they're their own IPs. But it expands.
Maybe only a couple of people, but it's there. The connection's there.
Which is cool to like really expand the universe because then you've got, like I said, one IP over here, one IP over here, but they're all part of this whole thing going on. It's great. It's good.
Every single Assassin's Creed's connected, like every single one of them.
Yeah.
Because the new trilogy's got that Layla person who's doing the anima stuff.
They always talk about.
I can't say. Who'll be the next one because.
And well, you always see his Desmond's friends too, like the ones that helped him. They always continue his work. Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's them, I think.
Yeah, they always continue the work.
They talked about him.
Yeah,
how he saved the world.
It's crazy. Crazy.
This isn't. I mean, is it spoilers now for AC? It's been out for 2 years. Fuck.
What's that for?
Valhalla. It's not really spoilers now because the game's been out for 2020.
Sheesh. Yeah.
Crazy. But because what Desmond did, you know how he done the whole like save the world, done that whatever it was.
Sacrifice himself. Yeah.
Did the whole that machine is in Valhalla. Like they did it again.
Oh God.
Because it was gonna.
I'll do the same thing again, kind of thing. So someone else had
so someone, I'm not going to say who, but someone sacrificed and shit and...
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Never-ending cycle.
I didn't know because I didn't play the old one. I was just like... They mentioned Desmond and how he saved the world and shit, and then it's like, I've got to do it. I'm like,
It feels like a kind of cheap tactic, though, to redo that. But
it's actually done well.
Done really well, yeah. It's kind of interesting.
It's not exactly the same.
But different.
Because this is way later in the time.
Yeah.
Because what Desmond was, what period was that in? Because this is Valhalla's like modern day.
Yeah. Oh, it was still in the future. Like I know Assassin's Creed's time I said like 20.
It was nowhere near this one.
No, it's a fair gap.
Mate was dead for fucking knows how long.
I think it's like 10 years or something like that. Technically, it's meant to be like. I know, like, the first Assassin's Creed, like, real world was set in, like, 2020, like, before it was happening. You know what I mean? Like, it was set in the future, at least. It was set in our future. But...
Or our past now.
The timeline is, like, from the first game. You know how the game... Well, whatever the first game released back in... Was it 2000 and something? And then the latest game is, like, 10 year, 15...
6 or something?
Yeah, so it's, like, 15 years later, 17, like, that kind of thing. So that's how that timeline exists. So when Desmond died, whatever that was, like, when that game came out, when that happened, to when now, that's how much time has passed. So it's the same kind of concept.
I can have a look, actually, on Google. Hang on.
So it's like 10 years ago, 50, like, that's how long it took. That's cool when kind of games use that aspect to pair up that they use their release dates in order of time to, like, how much time has passed in a game. They actually match that up as well, usually.
I saw his name Desmond.
Desmond.
What year did he die? 2012 to save the Earth.
When did the game come out?
2012.
Does it match up? Maybe it was the year.
I have no idea.
When did that one come out?
I don't know. I don't know what Assassin's Creed was it?
Was it 3?
Assassin's Creed 3 was 2012. Was Assassin's Creed 3?
Yeah.
Is that part of the... was Desmond Ezio?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's what ended the same year that came out. He died 2012. And then...
So Valhalla set in 2020 then.
Yeah. Hang on. What year did die in AC? Okay, what year was Valhalla?
Blah 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 blah.
Doesn't say.
The real world.
Died in 2020.
So yeah, okay, so yeah, it's 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years? 10? No, 10 years.
Okay.
10 years.
They're pretty much
10
on
years?
time with what the game come out.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why they do timeline based. Is like if 10 years have passed in the real world of the game production, then yeah. See, that's what always gets me. The one I always kind of accept because it was so broken though was with Unity. How broken Unity was, but how I saw
That's
that
a good game though.
Is kind of funny with its glitches. Is if you for those that actually were playing Unity, because a lot of people couldn't bear the game with its brokenness, they kind of just dropped it and moved on. But if you remember Unity, if you look at that real world counterpart of what's going on, it's kind of funny because you're designing a video game, like you're playing as a character that's working at Abstergo, that's making a video game to be sold to the consumer, which is funny enough that Unity was meant to be the video game in that world that they were going to sell to the public to play, that they were going to harvest from people to like get the data collect, use them to data collect. That was the point of Unity, was like they'll sell that game to the public. People would play together and do the research for them as the program. So they thought people were playing. So people would assume that the consumer would assume that they're playing a game, but in fact while they're doing that, they were collecting data and sending it back to them mining for them through all this like history and stuff.
Now, anyway.
Yeah, and I thought that's kind of funny. It's like, ironically enough, it's the one broken video game that ever's released where it technically, in its sense alone, is a video game compared to the Assassin's Creed games. Like the Assassin's Creed games, you're logging into this program and it's like using memory and key things and stuff like that. Where Unity was, like I said, was the only one that literally was in the universe a video game that was being built to go to the public.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And like, it's such a meta twist. Like, it's such a like, that's why it even operates differently. Like the UI, like when you load up Unity, you're in Unity, like you are like like because you're using the game. Like it was so weird how it operated. Like it was so.
I've never played it. I have no idea.
Yeah. Like I remember playing on the outside world, and they explained because you're working at a Abstergo video game studio kind of company kind of thing, and there's like little statues around the office of like actual Assassin's Creed statues, like a video game studio has. Like it had posters and stuff, and it has like the little chill rooms.
That's funny because Abstergo's the company in Watch Dogs too.
Yeah. So in sense too, the joke of it kind of being is Abstergo is almost in sense Ubisoft, but like not Ubisoft, but like it's kind of like a weird.
Because they're controlling everything. Like Abstergo controls everything.
Yeah.
Ubisoft?
Yeah, like it's kind of like a weird joke on themselves, and that's what Unity is. If you actually played the game on the outside of inside Unity, yeah, that real world, it was like that whole thing. It's just like you find little things around the offices and stuff.
They must call themselves dicks because Abstergo are dicks.
Yeah, because you find different things too. There's different hints that's where the people broke down and found hints to future Assassin's Creed games because they had little Easter eggs in that game of future AC titles.
Not just Assassin's Creed, but some other ones too.
Yeah.
Like, I think a Far Cry was in there at some point.
There's so much that like there's so meta and so like what the fuck.
Ubisoft know how to do good shit before other people.
Yeah.
Before that becomes trendy. It's crazy, man.
And that's why I think
also,
too, there's so much.
That's when back in their heyday when they were innovative. Like
it's crazy.
Now they're still innovative, but like people just shit on them because it's fun to shit on them. I think. I mean, Breakpoint was bad. I get that. Breakpoint was fucking bad.
Breakpoint
like,
literally that the difference and that literally was bad. Like I remember playing. I haven't got back to it
now though, but
it's supposed to be
on launch. It has to be playable.
Well, remember the time it was just as bad, if not worse, than the beta was when we played. Like fuck. Oh.
All right.
Oh, Jim froze. He's back.
What?
You froze for a second. Here. On my end, you froze.
No, I just want the face. He hangs up the phone like.
So we'll talk about that too now. I don't know, have you got?
No, we can't. Spoilers.
No, I'll just say Man vs. Bee has dropped. So if you haven't seen our trailer react to that, we've done that.
Yeah, well, yesterday, didn't it?
But
24?
yeah, yesterday, Man vs. Bee is finally out on Netflix.
Or
Not
today.
sponsored. It's just the fact that we finally watched it. We will
And-
say that it's 9 episodes. First episode was like 19 minutes long, and every episode.
19 minutes.
Fucking wish it was. And then every other episode is about 10, 11,
that's
12
good.
minutes. So in total, it goes for an hour and 48 minutes all up. It's quite quick. Interesting that they did it as a series. I thought if they were to do a series, it was going to be a little bit different. But if you watch it back to back, which is easy to do, you're just basically watching a movie in chapters.
I couldn't turn it off.
No, I watched it. I binged it, watched it, and it was done. I was like, oh, it was good.
I mean, it's good. It pretty much is a movie. Like, it's just so seamless between the transitions.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy. Like, they could have just done it as a whole
Pretty
movie.
much the time between, it's just a camera cut. That's it. Like, it's just a camera jump.
Yeah, and it's so great. It's so good. But no, definitely funny. If you like Rowan Atkinson, if you like Mr. Bean, Johnny English, like any of that kind of like, it's just like perfect.
Pretty
Watch
much
it.
If you don't like that, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty in your face. Like, it's really like.
It really gets you. There are moments where it really gets you biting your teeth. You're like, why are you doing this? Why is this happening? Use some thought. Like, got me wild on my edge of the seat, getting mad, getting frustrated, and cringing, and it's great. It's good. It's so good. Like, it's not like the bad cringe. Like, it was like it's really making you feel. So
it's just Rowan Atkinson doing it. Well, he wrote it. Like, he pretty much made it himself.
So good.
I'm guessing he had the idea and thought, aha.
Something crazy
He'll make
nonsensical.
something about it.
It's good. I think we need more of that crazy nonsensical stuff again. We need to go back a little bit. Like, the way we're going, everything's getting a bit too wacky and wild. In this day and age, we need to go back to like where it was good.
Mr. Bean?
Huh?
Do you reckon he'll do Mr. Bean again?
Oh, I'm
before he
hoping we
retires?
do get some more Mr. Bean.
Oh, just another movie, like another hour and a half movie.
Yeah.
Dope.
Like,
Because he still fucking got it. Like,
I know. So many moments.
although I'll say one thing, him with long hair is fucked up.
I know, it looks so weird.
It looked like a woman.
Won't talk about that. It's interesting.
It looked like a Karen.
Oh god. Oh. But it's out now on
I had to
Netflix.
get that off my damn chest.
It's out now on Netflix, so check it out. I mean, not sponsored at all, but fucking, it's definitely worth the watch.
But
I'm just saying, it's worth the watch. You need to watch it. It's so good.
It is freaking good.
Just for Rowan Atkinson.
Not what I was expecting though, like at all.
It's great.
So go and surprise yourself. Watch it.
Oh, so good. I wish we were sponsored. No, there would be.
Yeah, Netflix. No, better. Rowan Atkinson.
Right?
Yeah. We'll promote you anything you do.
Yeah.
Really.
I'll always happily talk about his stuff.
Watch The Lion King.
Yeah.
Was he back in that remake? The live action? Was he?
I don't know. I can't remember now. I don't think.
I can't remember. I haven't seen all of it. I've seen like half of it.
But no, it's so good.
But yeah, watch it. Do it.
You got any other? What do you have?
I got some things here. This is a big one though. I was just on the news before. Vince McMahon, the CEO for WWE, has stepped down.
Yes.
From allegations. I don't know what the allegations were, but he just stepped down. So.
Oh, there's something to do with like possible like engagements with like fellow colleagues, stuff like that kind of stuff, like sexual allegations of like misconduct. Oh no, those kind of things, affairs or some stupid shit happened. It was something like basically they, birth positive. I think it was something to do with. I didn't really look into it, but I remember seeing something about
bullshit
it.
Because it would have come out a long time ago.
It's always one of those things where it could have, yeah. It's just
or
weird.
he just wanted to retire and just like I just blah 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 and get out of it the quick way.
One of those things. But
Vince McMahon, like, he was there when I was a kid. He was the like CEO of wrestling. Now he was still there, and now he's gone. Like, no. The last bit of wrestling we had left was Vince's over the top like personality.
Yeah.
When he walks down to the ring, like, just out fucking, the fucking strut. Also, Fall Guys out on everything right now. Free.
We talked about that.
We already mentioned that, but it's right there. Also, it does. This is for you. Coming Disney Plus at the end of the year. Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation series.
It's not for me. Maybe for my kids.
I don't. Why? I mean, it's Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation. Like, why not?
I don't watch.
Weird Al
half of those
Yankovic is
shows.
doing a voice.
Oh man, I need a must watch
he's
for my Weird
playing-
Al.
I think he's playing the main character. So
Well,
it could be hilarious.
Also, the Obi-Wan series has wrapped up for season 1.
Yes.
Pretty good. Pretty good ending too.
Yeah, the ending
Pretty
saved
badass.
it really because I heard the middle was a bit here and there.
It's a real
But then
draw. Like
ended
it
up
plays
here.
nicely. It's like nice. That it's kind of like plays nicely because like it's not like here boom and then kind of like that. It's the whole like plane. Like it nicely comes up, planes out, and then it's like boom with the ending.
Just,
like
so it's just
nicely paced. It's nicely paced, not to like really get you too wild too much. It's to I think because if it was too much going through, it would have taken
Messed
away
up
from
some
would have
things.
taken away from the ending or something like that. Like it's but they said they're definitely keen to do another season. Because there talks of another season. They want to do another season. There's a rumors of the spin-off series from the chick who's playing Reva. There's a spin-off series for her. So that might tie in with the season 2. So see how it goes. Yeah.
Don't put Obi-Wan in there.
Well, it's gonna be Obi-Wan season 2. I know that. So
Yeah, well,
it just out of
eventually.
nowhere just be like Anakin season 2 or like you know what I mean, something silly like that. It'd be just be like we had season 1 with one character. It's like you know Anakin season 2
They
is
can't
like
do
did
Anakin now.
Anakin have a season 1? Oh no, but that was called Obi-Wan. It just confused people. Well, series 3 called
Did
Han
James
Solo.
Earl Jones do the voice again? Did he?
Yeah,
Fuck
he did
yeah.
the voice. Pretty good.
Because I heard from in the review that I heard that they did the "I'm here to kill you, Obi-Wan," and it was like that's James Earl Jones.
Yeah, he did all the voices for it, all the recordings and stuff, all the new stuff. It's good.
Right, so good. Said you can't do Star Wars without him though. Once he's dead, no more.
No, yeah, I imagine what they'll end up having for a little bit
You can't do it without
reserved
James Earl
for
Jones.
voice recordings and stuff.
That's just that's
But
just
I
dirty,
I
though.
think if he's dead, like I imagine he's still got a fair few years in him still. But like that's what I'm
fuck yeah,
saying.
but,
By
like,
then, if it's coming at the time after he's
don't milk it
died,
once he's gone.
that's what I mean. There should be no need because we've milked that stuff more than enough. We should be having new arcs now with new characters, new
I'm
universes.
kind of
Like,
sick of Darth Vader now. Like he's
where's
kind
the
of
where's the next menacing arc? Like they kind of piss poor had one in like with the last trilogy.
Yep.
Like where's the new
get
big
more
bad
Darth
character?
Maul. Like he got fuck all screen time in any of the like.
Exactly,
Darth
give us
Maul,
more Darth
he's
Maul
interesting.
or bring us new
give him
characters.
a childhood thing like
Mm.
on the planet. Like give it fuck more things.
Even new characters, bring us a new big baddie. Like have a new actual big baddie, not like a preteen fucking emo phase grunge. Like I'm the new big bad, which didn't have any effect at all. I still feel like badly excited and intimidated by Darth Vader than a fucking preteen Kylo Ren, who's just angst all the fucking time. Like give us a new character
That's
even.
the same as Anakin,
That's a new
though,
big
when he
bad.
was-
Yeah.
Like Anakin didn't look menacing at all back in the.
No, he was a grumpy teenager, but then he
It
became
was
Darth
just
Vader.
Darth
and it's
Vader. Like it was just Darth Vader who was the menace because. Hey, no one knew what the fuck he looked like. He could have been anything.
But you see what he just becomes. It's just like
He's not
Darth
really a
Vader's so
bad
badass.
guy, though. To be fair, he's not really bad.
in the end, now he come back to the.
He was never bad. He just got taught wrong.
I do laugh though. There were some people I do feel sometimes I feel a bit envious of the naivety where like I see some people talking about like Obi-Wan and be like, oh, I hope this doesn't die or something. This is like you do know that these characters live because there's 3 other movies, if not the other 3 after that, where you see these characters still alive. Like you know these characters aren't gonna die. Like it's just like
I don't get it. Like, have they not ever seen Star Wars until like now?
like it's just funny.
I got some Marvel stuff.
Yep.
Kraven the Hunter has wrapped filming.
Oh, nice.
That could be out end of the year next year.
I'd say
sometime,
maybe next year for the window because there is a lot of stuff coming out this year, so possibly next year.
Yeah, give it about the April, March time next year, or February even. Like,
Because they still got to edit it now. If they've wrapped filming, they've got to go through the editing and cleaning up and all that
Well,
stuff.
they already do like what they've already filmed and done the editing. Like, we're just gonna probably polish things and
Chop and change.
try and pace it correctly.
Well, they go through the cycles because you
it.
paste it together, cut it together, then they go to do a test watch of that and go, that didn't feel right. Go back, cut it, test watch.
And then
no,
you
add
get
this, take this, add this. It's like, oh, and then
send out
add
the
the effects
invites
to
to
it.
get other people in to watch it to give their thing, and
there's a lot of.
Then it's only in theaters. Like,
imagine being those people. Imagine
6 months.
seeing like 20 different cuts of a movie, and you're like, fuck, I've seen this 20 different cuts, like 20 different times each time. It's like
it changes one little thing.
Oh, you're like, fuck, I'm done with seeing this movie. Like,
I don't reckon it'd be like that though.
No, they usually get the sections and they give you like, here's the sample of what we've changed for this scene, and it's not the whole thing. And then it's more when it comes to the final cut.
Then you watch the whole thing at the end. So
and then they go, okay, we need to tweak this. And
like, the actors don't know what the fucking movie is half the time. They just act it.
And that's always what gets me is when people like have these cuts together and people whinge and complain about stuff. It's like, you go spend your time cutting together all this stuff. Like, it's just crazy.
It is easier now for them because they can just cut it on the spot and say, just delete that. Before, it would have had to go and cipher through every fucking bit of film.
Yeah.
And I saw you blink.
No, it's a pain in the ass when it happens.
I know, making movies is fuck ton easy now than it used to be. Because before, you had like fucking... Remember the big fucking film reels? All that was just one movie. Like,
yeah.
There would have been a...
Remember how they used to do it? How they edit? Remember how they used to edit? Yeah.
With the tape and just tape together.
Yeah.
You don't like it, you snip it off and cut together. You had the proper machine, like you could see through it, so you knew what you were looking at.
That's the thing, like, you had rolls of film, and when you needed a scene to cut, you'd literally cut at the frame and tape it to the next square afterwards, and just let it tape it. And that's why it would jump and stuff. And it's just like, I just hope it made sense.
Because the audio came in afterwards. Like,
I run it through and be like, I don't like this one frame, so you cut it at one frame out, and then you tape it together. It's just like, and then roll,
like
and then
what we do here.
And then once they
on
find
the computer and just
yeah.
Cut that out, drag that, cut
it's
that.
So much more better though digitally, but like they do that because what they do is they do it in a roll. Once they've got that perfected, then they'd refilm it again. Like they recopy the image to another roll, a clean roll, and then they have that rolled to a. So you imagine all those old tapes, like say in George Lucas Ranch stuff like that. There's like that's why they have those old wheels. You crack them open, and there's all these rolls
Star Wars movie like
taped together,
big,
all taped together. Yeah, of all these things taped together because it's the original cut.
You can actually buy those too.
If you
fucking expensive.
If you find those cuts of them too, you can see it too in the jump cut. You'll see sometimes when it jumps, you can see the taping in the frame. Yeah, it's like,
right.
Like that's I kind of wouldn't mind.
Or you get that double frame because you got two of the same scene. It's like they've
like
accidentally like duplicated it. It was like
for me. That's something for me being a like into film and editing and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind in the sense having tape and doing old school where you'd like film on a reel, like a short film,
and
then sit there and cut it, and then like tape it together yourself and actually see it play out.
A lot more work, though.
But it would be so worth the work because you'd film a little short film.
If you fuck that up too many times, you got no more film left.
Yeah,
like, you got to really reshoot it.
That's what I mean. You got to really be intricate about it.
Now it's just, we need another take. You go to your fucking mocap room or something, get your camera, done. Damn. Put the USB in.
Yeah, it's so much more easier. That's why they've converted.
It's pretty simple for them now. Like they can make a movie right now in less than a year. Can be shot, done in the theater.
Yep.
Less than a year. Back then, it probably took about a year just to cut it. Like crazy.
There's a lot that can be done.
But then again, that's technology. Like it advanced so far in 50 years or so, or less. Like, because considering we've been using film stopped 90s really. They went to like actual proper recorders in the 2000s.
We compare with VHS, so yeah.
Yeah. So
well, to a degree, there are some that will still use film, but what they do is they can film in film. Then when it rolls, they converts over to digital
because a lot of Marvel's in film. Some of it.
That's how they do.
You have the some that's shot in like 4K, 2K. Then you got the film that has got the grain effect to it.
They can add that, but there are some films that just something about it to get that certain feel
Yeah, but
You
if
get the better
if
with
you
a
add that like just with a PC, it doesn't look as good.
It's not the same. Yeah, it's the fake. It's so yeah.
But if you shoot on film, you can tell because it looks so fucking. It's not that 4K crisp.
Mm.
It's got that little bit of grain to it,
Mm.
which kind of adds to the CG in some movies. Like it makes it blend so fucking well.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
just
what
a
I love.
big
I love that
sticker
stuff.
gun bang right in the fucking image. We've seen those, Marvel. Look at fucking Avengers. You watch that first Avengers? Oh my god. Some of that stuff,
Yeah.
like those aliens and shit. Some of it's so CG, they're just like stuck there.
Yeah, it is what it is. The blending.
That's 2012 though. Like that wasn't that long ago.
Probably we've advanced a fair bit.
Fair far.
Fair fart. We've advanced a fair fart.
Yeah, fair far. Oh my god. Yeah. But we'll stop talking about movies now. Fuck.
Eh, it is what it
Go
is.
for ages about that.
We can.
Also, that new Amazon Lord of the Rings has female orcs.
Yes.
I was like, but there's not in Lord of the Rings.
Well, there's a reason. It's because of how they were grown. If they do kind of show the original.
They
Lord
were
of the Rings.
made.
They were made, yeah. So that's why.
But female orcs back in the day, and then they must have just died off.
I think that's what they were going
Like,
for. They're showing more of the history.
Were they born from the female orcs, or they're still made back then? Because wasn't it Sauron who made them? It wasn't
Like a spell, yeah, or something made them.
because he made them ones himself. Like back in the Hobbit and that. Like who made them then?
Well, that's what we're gonna
get to see.
That's what we're gonna know. That's what we'll find out. I imagine we'll get to see more of that.
They must have just been there.
I'm keen to kind of delve into a more expanded fucking lore.
More fucking Middle Earth.
More lore.
Some more lore. I hope Legolas is in there. Apparently he's alive back then.
I think there are a lot of characters that will be reprising their roles.
Elrond is not
Apparently.
in that. They didn't get Hugo Weaving, I don't think.
No, certain characters
Apparently
apparently
it's
are coming
another
back, but
someone playing
it's
it.
all these new actors, like it's all
I
TV
think
and stuff. But there's a
Ian
few-
McKellen's back as Gandalf, isn't he?
I think possibly I can't remember. There's a lot. There's a lot going on, like a lot. It's because it's
Ton of new players.
because it's kind of like because it's in a weird spot where it's its own thing. It's its own prequel series thing that's got really nothing to do with the rest of it, but at the same time it does. But it's trying to just kind of not be so heavy on that. That already exists with
they're
the
still
movies.
using
It's
all
trying
the books and that. But,
yeah, it's trying to be a bit more like its own independent from the movie, so you don't have to be part of this. You don't have to watch them together. Like it's its own individual thing. You don't have to. You don't have to watch that.
Peter Jackson was doing it.
I think he did have input somewhere along the lines because they wanted him to do something with that, but there's a lot of issues and stuff, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I think his company, like his the Weta company, has stuff into it with that.
Yeah, because they're making all the orcs and all the costumes and the makeup and all that still. Because they've done it for 6 movies.
Yeah.
Like,
So they're all doing.
because he didn't really do the Hobbit trilogy. He came in afterwards and just filmed what he had.
Yeah, because
That's much all over the joint. Like I didn't like the Hobbit.
Because
Like parts were good.
Because he only wanted to do the trilogy, then they were like adamant that they had to do the Hobbit, and he was because they went to him for the Hobbit, and he didn't really want to do it. So, but then he had his inputs. So like, well, we need you to at least give input then, because he didn't want it to happen. Like it was a weird contractual thing.
Guillermo del Toro was making it.
Hmm.
And then he left it, and then Peter Jackson's like, "I'll do it," but he had fuck all time to prep for it before they shot it.
Because I think they originally wanted Peter, from what I remember, but then he didn't want to do it at the time. He was doing other things or something.
He was doing other things, King Kong and that first.
Yeah, and he was like, and they were adamant that needed to be done, and yeah.
Then they got Del Toro, which would have been fucking amazing if he did it as
It's
well.
just one of those things, like, yeah.
Like it didn't fail because of Peter Jackson. It was just he had fuck all time to make it his.
He had to pick up from it and get on with it. That needed to be done.
Because that Battle of the Five Armies should have been a lot better.
Yeah.
That was just a quick like, what, 30-minute thing or so. It's like, because you've seen these battles in the original trilogy. That were just epic.
It's just such a, you can see it when it misses, when they have a struggle.
Like, they're not bad. You do have to watch them before Lord of the Rings. Like, you get a lot more context.
Oh,
as to
definitely
what
feel
happens
for
in
the
Lord of Rings.
characters. You get to feel more for Bilbo's side of the story
Like, when you
see
get
him.
Bilbo, like, turn the stone to stone.
That's
you
what I
can
said.
say the trolls turn to stone, like.
Well, especially that point where he snaps too. Like you really feel for his character when he actually snaps.
Oh, yeah.
When he really like, give me back the ring. Like when he has that, like you really feel for that moment a lot more when you saw where he went through and how often he used it and how he did stuff to then see like how deprived he was later
He
on. Down
didn't
the
really
track.
use it though. I mean, he did, but he didn't. Like he.
It
Kind
adds
of.
to it. It adds to it because you just see him barely use it in the original when you watch the
He had it
Lord
for
of the
a
Rings.
lot of years. He was old in Lord of the Rings.
So that's what I mean. When you see him in Lord of the Rings and you see how he goes, it seems a little bit out of place when he snaps. But then you see him in The Hobbit and you're like, oh, okay, it kind of adds to it if you don't know what's going on. So as a consumer perspective, it's, yeah. My toe's itchy.
Pretty fucking good. Like, I still recommend The Hobbit. Like, it's a good Middle Earth film. Like, it's a good trilogy.
Yeah.
But by themselves, don't watch them.
Yeah. You get it, yeah. Itchy toe.
Also, Daz, you like Switch games, don't you?
Why?
No Man's Sky is coming to Switch October 7th.
I mean...
Big game for that, I think. Like, whew.
Yeah, it's a bit... I guess.
It's the Switch edition, it's called.
Be interesting to see what differences they do to make it work on the Switch.
But I don't know, but I mean, I'm probably glad on a Switch. I can go in the car and just fly around my spaceship.
Yeah.
Travel, just fly around my spaceship.
Oh.
Bethesda.
Ooh.
No seamless travel.
Well, they're supposed to be bringing...
bullshit.
I wonder how that would work because I'm just thinking... Because they're supposed to be bringing... No Man's Sky to VR for PS5. I think
It could
PS4 as
be
well.
fucking amazing.
But imagine doing the old school fucking Switch VR. You had the fucking
Ew.
thing and you plug the thing and you have the Joy-Cons.
Oh, that would be fucking disorientating as fuck.
Because there's some kind of Switch VR stuff you can do. Where you actually put the thing in and it's first person you can... I would actually do that. Actually, I would do that. I would get myself a little rig, lay in bed, just have the screen in my face, and just have the Joy-Cons by my hands laying in bed like this, just going like, eh. Like I wouldn't have to look around. Like I'd still look with that, but I could just lay
That'd
there
look horrible
with the
though.
screen
That'd be
on my
like
face and just like lay there and just
480p.
play. Yeah, but it's like when it's right in your face though.
PSVR would be better, man.
It's...
Just lay in bed, it's like, ah.
I mean, yeah, if you're laying in bed, you're actually looking around, you got the motion. But at least just having the screen right there in first person, you can just lay there and just walk around with the Joy-Con. Like I said, what first person games have I got?
Then you fall asleep. It's like, what are you doing?
I wonder what first person games I've got on the Switch. I want to try that now. I want to put that PSVR, not the PSVR, Switch stick.
Yeah, but they're not VR games though on the Switch.
No, I'm just thinking. No, they have done some games that are in VR when you've got the head rig.
Yeah, but not No Man's Sky though. That's just the
No,
standard
but I want to
edition.
try that with. I'm just thinking. I want to try that with a first-person game. Just get a normal FPS, put it in
Mario.
my face like that, and then just like use the Joy-Con still to look around, so I don't have to look around. I can just, but the screen's there in my face, and I can just like do everything. Just kind of want to try that.
Right.
Just thought, that's what I'm just trying to think what first-person games
One
are.
little.
FPS shooters I have.
You know you can make that at home by yourself.
Yeah.
You just get some cardboard and just put your phone in.
I've got the cardboard kit somewhere. The Labo. Because the Labo.
I used that once. It was weird.
Gotta find where
And that little white case that put your phone in the case, like that's weird.
I gotta do that. I want to do that again with my new phone. I haven't tried that since my.
Dream it, just lay in bed. Oh. That thing is about VR. You can't read chat.
Yeah. The downside.
Like you have to clearly state that you can't read chat unless someone's reading it to you.
Well, some people have like some of the Oculus stuff. If it's actual Oculus, not PSVR, you can actually have that come up because you use your like your overlays and stuff, and you can have it come up. Or you have like with a lot of the Oculus as well.
Very distracting though.
There's actual with some of the Oculuses and stuff. There's actual cameras on the outside, so you can press the button, and it flicks to the outside, so you can see what's going outside. So you can like while wearing the goggles, you press the button, you can see out of it, and then you can see like. Things
I'm guessing
back.
that's what the new VR will have for PSVR 2, hopefully.
Because that'd be cool. Because then you can at least do
I
stuff.
haven't really
Flick the
seen
screen
it yet.
and you can display the image and you can see what's in front of you, so you can actually look without having to take it off your head, and then you can just flick the button again.
Right? It's like it just goes full transparent, which would be dope. I want to get the Quest. You can play it any fucking way you want.
Yeah. I know. It would be nice if I had something like that.
You got room, play it. Beat Saber in the middle of the backyard.
It'd be like
What are you
fucking
doing over there?
the revert back to that Johnny English where he had the VR headset and he's walking around everywhere.
Oh, he's crawling around trying to find a bin.
He's like everywhere, and he's just kept. And he walks through the fucking building, and he goes through the city and everything, and he's just fucking. He just goes everywhere and starts beating up a guy. And
Oh, what was that VR thing? Was that what was that Steve Carell show with John Malkovich?
oh,
The army one?
the space
Space Force.
Space Force, yeah,
Was it?
yeah. He did the same
Like
thing too.
when John Malkovich had on the thing, he's like, I'm gonna vomit. He just crawled around the floor. He's like,
Yeah,
he's like, space in VR, and they're just like, that sounds cool. Get me out of this thing.
he freaked out straight away, like he felt too immersed.
The other dude's like having a time of his life in it, and he's just he's gonna throw up.
So good.
Is there another season of that? I can't remember if they.
No, there should be another season coming from what I heard. We thought it might have been cancelled, but no, they're supposed to be working on it or something.
I need some more stream stuff from John
I
Malkovich.
know. Oh, you seen me lately? I've been on my Tom Cruise binge. I got hooked.
Yes,
I watched-
Mission Impossibles.
I started with Reacher, with that what's his name guy, the series Reacher, and then I went from the Reacher, and then I wanted to compare the original movies to the series, and it's interesting how similar they actually are. And then I went from that, just watching Reacher, to Reacher 2, then going, fuck it, I'm watched 2 Tom Cruise movies. I now want to compare Reacher to his acting in Reacher to his acting in Mission Impossible. So now I've gone through all the Mission Impossibles, basically. It's just gone down like let's compare Tom Cruise in his different stages of acting, kind of.
None of their movies are bad, though.
No.
Like, no Mission Impossible is bad.
You see, if you remember the early one which one was it? The first one? No, it wasn't the first one, it was the third one.
I don't remember the movies.
It was the third one because he has that the wife, and he has in that one, I don't know if you remember, he has the chip in he got the implant in his head, and he's got to like electrocute himself to fucking shut down he gets the fucking explosive shoved up his nose.
Idea.
He basically electrocutes himself and kills himself to fucking fry the chip in his brain, and his wife's defending off these guys, and he's just laying there dead. And then she resuscitates him after, and he's like,
Is that in that office building?
In that Bangladesh, whatever the fuck. I can't
In
remember.
like his white office building with like all the white furniture and shit?
No, that's a different
And he
one.
had the briefcase?
That's a different one.
Oh, what is that then?
That might have been the later. Was it later on again?
That
He
might
dies
be
so
when he
many
had the
times.
sticky thing up the fucking wall, like
Oh,
outside
that's
the building.
number 4. Where he's got to
That
climb
one's
the
so
building.
good. Like his
The glove?
was like, bah!
I was
I was like,
well,
edge
when
of my seat,
rewatching
like,
that
fucking
scene,
hell.
you see how long it takes him to climb up, right? I was laughing about that. You see him climb up, he's laser cutting the fucking window, and he slips, the thing slips, and he falls. He falls like several stories again. They talk about, here's your time window, and they cut back the scene, he's back there again, and he finishes cutting it. It's just like, wait, what? It's just like, he slips so many falls down, he saves himself, and he's gonna climb back up
really
again.
wasn't far, but it wasn't that quick to get back.
No,
Jesus.
but it's just like, fuck, he's already like, I was like, god damn it. But it's Mission
I
Impossible.
mean, it's a movie.
But I'm up to number 5, so I've still got 6 to do. But number 5, there's the point where he's in the water, where he gets to swim
That's
through
Ghost
that
Protocol, isn't it?
Rogue Nation.
Oh, Ghost Protocol was 4. That one where he had the gloves.
Glove, yeah. So number 5 is where the
That's
water
one I
tank.
remember the most because I've got.
Oh, so number 5, he dives in he's got to go in the thing. He dives in that water tank, and he's got to try and change the chip card over, and he basically runs out of oxygen. Chick don't saves him, and he comes out, and she basically this is pretty cool though. Like he's basically like lost of oxygen, so he's like she's got to resuscitate him. She like zaps him with a fucking defibrillator because his heart stops or whatever because he dies. Brings him back, but he's like so out of it. He's just like fully dazed and confused. He's just like, hey, what are you doing here? And it's just like, and from that point onwards, his brain's so fucked because it was deprived of oxygen. He plays the character where he was like fine up to that, and then he's just discombobulated. Like he does like the whole like over the hood dive kind of thing, and he eats shit kind of thing when he jumps over the hood. He failed it because like he can't like come.
Was that Rogue
properly.
Nation?
Yeah.
Is that one where he breaks his ankle?
No, that's the one after
jump?
that.
Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout.
They're so fucking mad. I can't keep track.
I feel like another 2 or 3 more coming.
Yeah, well, the Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part 2.
But yeah,
They're
so I
the
was like,
final ones, I think.
so I was like, fuck. So like his character though, like he plays the character so well where he's like fine, fucking drowns, loss of oxygen, brain fried, fucking comes back to life, and he's like, from that point on,
He's
playing
just
it out that
groggy
his
as fuck.
brain's fucked because he's lost a few brain cells, and he plays it out, and you can kind, and he does it so well. Like he's a bit dumb because he's lost a few brain cells, and he's like trying to still he can remember things, but you can see he doesn't really remember things.
He's trying to remember, but
His brain's so
he-
fucked.
it's- Yep.
It's like that's done really well though. He did that really well where he like you can tell that he kind of like acknowledges but he's not too sure. But like and there's just small moments you're like you don't pick that up if you don't really notice. You're like, damn, that's actually like you take it for granted in these scenes and you don't realize actually he's acknowledging that he's had brain damage from the fucking lack of oxygen and he can't remember half his shit and it's just like fuck. It's
But
like
the thing is, it gets better though. Like that shouldn't be a thing.
no, it still takes a fair while. Like you watch it, and he's still a bit moments like through it that he's a bit fucked up through the rest of the end of that film. He's a little bit better, like picks up, but
He's
he's
got
still a
all
bit.
on in there.
Hey,
He should be better at all.
yeah, no, but like he gets that's the weird part. Like he's still a bit
Like-
janked. Like I was like, that's still the consideration of the character. So it's crazy.
Yeah, but you watch in Fallout when he does a jump from a bridge to a building.
Yeah. He
Like
actually
when he
fucks up
started
his
limping
ankle.
away, that's
Yeah.
real. Like he actually,
That's-
his foot went like
That's kind of why I never watched the
foot went
movie because I didn't
up
want.
and,
I
like,
kept
smacked his
avoiding the
shin,
movie.
pretty much.
I kept avoiding the movie because
Oh.
that's exactly why. That's why I avoided the movie. I didn't want to watch that movie for that point. It was because I know it's gonna happen. I don't want to know. I don't want to see it happen because I know it happens. I know he breaks.
yeah, but
his
he got
ankle.
up and just
Kept running.
he didn't say cut. He just broke his leg pretty much. Got up
Yeah.
and started running. Like
Yeah, and you
that's
see him
Tom
limping on
Cruise
it.
for you.
He
Like
kept doing the scene. It's like no. That's why I avoided the movie. Because I was like, no, I'm not watching this. I know he's gonna actually break his ankle. I don't want to see it if it's something like that's actually been happening.
you don't really see it.
No, but
It's a quick camera jump. But if you like slow it down, you see his foot just.
but it's all the one take or whatever it was. He committed. it
Yeah, like
happened.
it's all pretty much him jumping off, climbing up, and running. Like running.
all in that
jump,
one
climb,
take
run.
where he hits it and gets up and keeps going. It's all in that one
But he
take.
did it so many times, and then that one,
Mm.
they
And that's
kept the broke his ankle.
and that's the one that worked because he finally got it right for the scene they needed. Ended up being the
Well,
one they kept in.
mostly. I kind of added to it because he's like limping off. Like he would have
Yeah.
done that otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, it's just crazy.
Like just think, like he's had so many injuries from doing his own stunts. He just keeps doing it though.
Oh, he's brutal.
I think Top Gun he did stuff. He's done stuff in many things.
Yeah.
It's just makes him a good actor though. Like
Yep.
I mean, not for the crew because they spent 3 months off set because he wasn't ready to do stuff.
Yeah, he had to wait for him to get back into it.
That's why they got to stunt people. Really,
Yeah.
like otherwise,
That's
crew's got to wait
exactly it.
months if
That's
something
exactly
goes wrong.
why they have stunt people. Is for a scene, if something goes wrong, then they've got the stunt man to be out of the thing, and then they can keep filming stuff with the actor. That's the whole point of stunt actors.
They got multiple stunt people.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. That's why they do this because then it's cold.
There's
It's
a
hold
storm
up for
happening.
production.
There's thunder and that. So if I cut out, that's that.
Well, we're getting close to the end anyway. If you got more things to.
Thunder.
Thunder, lightning, very, very
I got
funny.
nothing else, but I was happy to talk about Mission Impossible.
Yeah. But no, that's exactly like it's a good interesting comparison. Like you got
I kind of
Jackie
want to watch
Chan,
him now.
Jackie Chan. You've got like
Well, he
Tom
broke
Cruise.
so many bones
does-
as well and still does his own stunts.
But it shows you like
Schwarzenegger, Stallone.
And that's exactly it. That's why you have stunt doubles. That's the only reason you have stunt doubles. Otherwise, you'd get the actors to do their stuff, but it holds up production, and that's the one thing you don't want to do.
Not
is hold
just
up
that, but
production.
it is their safety though. You don't really want to kill someone.
Because that
on
was the
movie
same with
set like that.
even if it didn't happen, like you've got like Jared Leto, who wasn't he was faking the injury because he was trying to get the method acting going on, and he held up the set because he was like limping around and stuff like that. Like this is why you don't have injuries, is because it holds up production. Like
Right.
that's why it's the whole point why you make sure everyone's fine, because you don't want delays.
I mean,
The sooner it's done and dusted, the less money you have to spend for catering and lighting and all these things and
Not that,
hiring
but
and stuff. And
the less time you're there,
Yeah.
the cheaper it is.
exactly,
Because
so
it's location that really costs a fuck
and you got and the actors you got to pay as well, and all the staff you got to pay. That's more money that's being spent than you can save.
the
and put-
actors aren't always there though.
Oh, they get paid either way.
Like it's only certain days they're on set and
Oh,
they do all their scenes at once, really.
Half of those things, though, while production's happening, they get
Mm.
paychecks either way. There's some actors that even they film one thing, they get a paycheck the whole way through. It's freaking crazy. Depends on your contracts.
Like Johnny Depp and stuff like that. People of that caliber. Maybe Tom Cruise is in that. I have no idea.
So
I mean, still,
he does
like,
a lot of his own movies.
he'll be doing Mission Impossible when he's in his 60s. That's crazy. Like, if these two last ones aren't the end, and there's like 10 movies.
Was it 20? Was it next year? There's one dropping next year.
Yeah, because the part one's this year.
Is it
Part
this year?
two's probably next year or the year
Is
after.
it this year or next year? I thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
This year, I think.
Let
me have a look.
I thought it was next year.
Pretty sure it's this year.
Don't open that shit.
Pretty sure. And that's this year.
Stuff open. I don't. Why is it opening up Instagram? Fuck off.
Holy fuck!
What?
Okay, so we got Mission Impossible.
Oh.
Dead Reckoning 2023. So yeah, next year.
Yeah.
And then we got Mission Impossible 8 2024.
Yes.
It's filming that now. Then you got Tom Cruise Untitled, Tom Cruise SpaceX project in
14th of
pre-production.
July
Then you got
next year.
Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat. Coming after that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Mission Impossible Fallout was 2018. That was
See, that's the thing too with Mission
got these
Impossible.
movies going.
That's the other thing as well, is he's done his like this. How I've seen it with Mission Impossible is they've done their movies differently. They've done it in lots of fours, not a trilogy. If you've noticed, he's like
Well, not really, because Mission Impossible goes to 3 and then it stops being numbered.
Mission Impossible 4.
Because this Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol is 4. There's no 4, nothing.
Oh, it used to be referred to as 4.
And then you got Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which is not even numbered. Then you got Fallout, not numbered. Part 1. Then you got Mission Impossible 8.
True.
So you got Part 1, then 8? Is that like Part 2, or is that Part 2 coming after 8? Like, what?
I don't even know anymore.
And they got Mission Impossible in Mission Impossible? Is there a movie in the movie that he's talking about 8?
Impossible, Mission Impossible.
The Impossibilist. The fuck. the Impossibilist mission.
That's making a really, really, really good Xbox game. No.
Finally. When was the first one made? Like 90s.
Yeah, it came out in 96. What was 96?
Yeah, 96. He's been off for almost 20 fucking 30 years.
That's like one of his biggest things he's known for. Like what? He's done a lot though. He's been like in a lot of movies though. Tom Cruise has a lot of movies.
Well, not really. Not really. He's done 50 movies.
Yeah, that's a lot of movies.
Yeah, but mostly Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be 8 of them currently.
Pretty much. That's fucking crazy. He's done The Mummy, Jack Reacher.
I actually might watch The
Edge
Mummy.
of Tomorrow, Oblivion. He done the 2 Jack Reacher movies.
Yeah.
Rock of Ages. That's a good fucking movie. Night and Day, Valkyrie, Tropic Thunder,
Rain Man was good. I should watch that.
War of the Worlds, The Last Samurai, which is an underrated gem.
Yep.
Austin Powers, in Goldmember. He was fucking in Goldmember. I remember that.
I know,
Oh
it was
my
kind
God.
of fucking hilarious how he did it. It was like a stab at Mission
Jerry-
Impossible, though.
Jerry Maguire,
Iconic.
The Firm, which is a good movie. Few Good Men, Days of Thunder, Rain Man, Young Guns, Cocktail, Legend, Risky Business, The Outsiders. Shit tons. Or not shit tons, but he done a lot less than other actors, but he's also like more popular. Like, they're just bigger movies.
Legend, I think, was one of his iconic films that started him, I think.
Oh yeah, but that's way before
Kid.
Top Gun. Not way before, just a few years before, but
Should watch that.
Legend.
Mm.
Legiano.
Legend. I will definitely watch.
He looks so weird in that though. He's like a fucking teenager.
Yeah.
He looked weird as a kid, like as a teen. Like in the old movies, like that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You look at him now, like he's aged like a fine wine.
Fuck off.
If you know what I mean, like he got better with age. But that's crazy. I'm gonna watch Mission Impossible someday.
But anyway,
I haven't seen them since they came out, really. So
yeah. No, I still watch.
because it's hard to keep up with them, and there's so many.
That's
fucking
why.
movies
That's why it's
releasing
good for me
around
too
them.
to just binge them now, get on the train, because I'm like, it's been a while since I've watched them, but I still remember it. It's crazy. Like I still remember it.
I remember it when I start watching them, but I don't remember off the top of my head from after like 10, 20 years. Like I know some things for the Ghost Protocol because of when I recently watched, like a few years ago. But I got nothing. You done, Daz?
Yep, I'm done. I think it's time for you to wrap it up.
Yes. And on that, oh, excuse me. Thank you, Beardies and Beardettes, for joining us on episode 26. As always, we appreciate you watching, listening, chilling. We've been Dale and Jim, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye bye.